from the pile, from the pile. Yeah. Hey, time for another edition of From the Pile. I'm not really playing this because that would be stupid. It's not even on. So this week's edition of From the Pile, I'm going to be honest and upfront with you guys. I did not buy any new comics yet this week because of Snowpocalypse 2016. So we're going a little bit into the backlog, if you will, of what's come out in the past couple weeks. Also, in this episode, I'm wearing a hat. So the first comic I'm going to discuss tonight is, or today, or whatever time you're going to watch this. I don't know what time it is where you are. Are you in China? Hello, in Chinese. The first comic I'm going to talk about is one of my personal favorites, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is a character that's been around for a little bit, and I just love the character of Swamp Thing. He's not that popular, he's not that well known, and this is a new series that's written by Swamp Thing creator Lin Wayne, and if you don't know about Swamp Thing, here's a rundown. He's a guy who was a biochemist, and then his lab exploded, and he got thrown into a swamp, and now he has, like, plant powers. He's connected to this thing called the Green, which controls all the plants in the world. Basically, he's like the Batman villain Poison Ivy, but instead of being a hot lady, he's a swampy-looking, ugly guy. Now, the current Swamp Thing book isn't really connected to anything. The last Swamp Thing title ended during the Convergence DC event, which was terrible. Your event was bad, and you should feel bad. It's like when a bunch of TV shows do a bunch of crossovers for no reason, and then you're like, oh, this sucks. I hate this so much. When you go on a double date, it just doesn't go well. But this new series of Swamp Thing is actually really cool. I just really like where it's going. Swamp Thing's fighting zombies, which zombies are kind of overplayed right now, but the way they incorporate zombies in the Swamp Thing has actually been very, very cool. So if you're into zombies, plants, or the mobile game Plants vs. Zombies, then yeah, Swamp Thing is the book for you. Next up on my list is a book that I literally just gushed all over about in the pilot episode, and that was Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now this is the second issue. It's out, and oh, it's so good. The issue starts out with Batman fighting the Ninja Turtles, and the Ninja Turtles have their quick, witty dialogue that you would expect from them. One of the high points of the book is the artwork. I'm a huge fan of the art. Let me just show you. I'm going to be that guy. We're going to show and tell. Like, here's some of the artwork of this book. That's Shredder. By the way, in this book, Shredder teams up with Penguin, which is something I didn't know that I needed in my life. This is issue number 2, and in this issue, it progresses the story a little bit more, and it turns out that if the Turtles don't get back to their world, they're going to turn back into regular Turtles. I mean, besides that kid who said, I like turtles in that viral video like a couple years ago, nobody really... I mean, turtles are okay, but I'm just kind of like, I'd rather have them be ninjas and mutants, and not also teenage. I don't know why did anybody ever figure out why they had to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, adult Ninja Turtles sounds kind of great too. Teenagers are always just kind of moping around and stuff. But I guess you don't want to read a book about adult Ninja Mutant Turtles that have like accounting jobs. It's just a really cool concept that they made work really, really well. So kudos to you, DC and IDW, for making this crossover series really cool. Finally, my last recommendation is going to be for a tie-in to an upcoming movie that's coming out in August. You may have seen that I posted on the 1061evansville.com website the new trailer to the Suicide Squad movie. It stars Will Smith, Margot Robbie. It's got a bunch of cool people in it. It's going to be a great film. I'm really excited about it. So I decided that I was going to share with you Suicide Squad. In this series, you're going to basically get a pretty good layout of what the movie's going to be like. You've got Deadshot, you've got Harley Quinn, you've got King Shark, you've got Captain Boomerang, you've got Diablo. Characters that you're going to see in the movie, with the exception of King Shark, who's being replaced by Killer Croc. Personally, DC, I think it's unfair that you just swapped out King Shark for Killer Croc. I love Killer Croc, but basically what you're saying is, oh, I can't tell the difference between a man who's part crocodile and a man who's literally part shark. Are you saying all human-fish hybrids look the same? That's a little bit prejudice. I'm not cool with that. I'm going to blog about it on my Tumblr. This book is just a lot of fun. It's violent, characters die, and it's what you would expect from a team of supervillains forced to team up to do jobs that the government won't want to do. So if you're in the mood for the movie, maybe you saw the trailer for the movie and said, hey, I wonder where I can read some comics. This is the first volume of it. You can get it at pretty much any bookstore for like $15 or so. Also, it's got Harley Quinn in it, and everybody loves Harley Quinn. That's going to do it for this week's edition of From the Pile. Hopefully you check out some of my recommendations. Next week, hopefully I'll have some new stuff to review. Again, Snowpocalypse happened, and then I didn't just want to leave my house. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week.